What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I've got another favorites video for you. So today we're going to be talking about my top 5 nail polish collections that came out in 2021. And this is something that I've been doing for the past few years and I absolutely love to do it. There's just something so satisfying about a full collection of nail polishes that just matches really nicely, that all have really beautiful colors and formulas and finishes. And I just really love taking a collection and just judging it as a whole. And I do feel like it's very different from sharing my favorite individual nail polishes, which is another thing that I'm going to be doing for 2021. Back in the beginning of January, I did share my top 20 polishes of 2020, so I will probably be doing my top 21 for 2021 in January as well. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about collections specifically, and I feel like we got a lot of good ones this year. There was a lot of exciting new finishes that came out from the Flash Reactive pigment that's now available in regular polish. We got so many new magnetic polishes. We even got multi-chrome magnetics. Sinful Colors did a really unusual gumdrop texture, among others. And yeah, overall, I just think we had a lot of really good color stories as well. So today we're going to be talking about the ones that excited me the most, the ones that I thought the color stories were just perfect on, and overall really loved the collection. All the collections that I'm going to be sharing are regular lacquer formula, but before we get into the top 5, I do want to share an honorable mention for my favorite gel collection that came out in 2021, and that is the Fun Lacquer Multi-Chrome Magnetic Toppers. These are actually available as regular polish, so they don't need to be gel, but personally I found myself slightly preferring a gel formula for magnetic polishes, especially when I do that sort of three-dimensional aura effect on my nails. I think it's a lot easier and it gives me more time to work with the gel for as long as I need to without it drying. And just in terms of the quality, the incredible color selection, the opacity of those multi-chromes over a black base, I just really enjoyed this collection. I think it was a real standout for me out of all the gel collections that I reviewed this year. I just know that I'm going to be using them over and over again. I'm also really curious because they are toppers. I want to know how they layer over each other and over other multi-chromes, so I think there's a lot of experimenting to be had with these. Definitely makes it into my top favorite gel collection of the year. So now that we've talked about gels, let's move in to my top 5 polish collections of 2021. So counting down, number 5, we have the ILNP Winter Resort Collection. So this is actually a recent collection that came out for winter 2021, and the color story really stood out to me. Definitely one of my favorite color stories of the year. There's just something about the mix of these like warm neutrals with these soft, cool, subtle, deeper blues that just felt so warm and cozy, but also very wintry to me. Plus, those very delicate holographic flakes in each color just added so much depth. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know that scattered hollow jellies are my absolute favorite, so of course I was gonna love these. And we also have a few more opaque colors in here, which I really enjoyed. ILNP in general tends to be a brand that's a little bit more sheer on me, so I often find myself using 3 coats. And there are a couple of shades in this collection that are still a little bit on the sheer side, but what really wowed me was the more opaque colors, and that formula was just so impressive. Somehow it kind of felt like having a cream, but also the holographic flakes still showed through and were very multi-dimensional, so I absolutely loved that. Overall, like I said, very cozy winter vibes. I can definitely see myself wearing these shades in January and February, but I also feel like they're really good transitional into spring colors, so I think they are going to get a lot of use out of me. Moving on to number 4, we've got the Holo Taco Electric Hollows collection. This was their release for summer 2021, and I have to say, this is my absolute favorite release of linear hollows that they have done. It might actually be my favorite Holo Taco collection. The colors were just absolutely fantastic. They matched each other so well, and they were just very saturated. They felt distinctly summery and perfect for the season, and they also had a little bit of like a retro 80s vibe, which I really enjoyed. And of course, the polishes themselves just had a really nice formula. They were very opaque, they were very self-leveling, and of course they were extremely holographic, so they just caught the light so beautifully. I also really appreciated that this was a 5 polish collection. A lot of you guys have talked to me about how it's kind of frustrating to get 6 polish collections, because if you want to wear 5 colors on each hand, you have to get rid of one of the colors. So I thought that was a really cool touch that they did 5. I think it was just the perfect amount, and I can't think of another color that I could have added to this collection. It was just perfect as is. Moving on to number 3 in my list, we have the KB Shimmer In Good Spirits collection. And this is actually another recent release. I actually really enjoyed everything that KB Shimmer came out with this year. This was kind of the year that I rediscovered them, and I'm so glad I did. But I think that their In Good Spirits collection had to be my favorite of the year. In general, they're just one of the most unique indie brands that I have ever come across. They put so much into their polish. I feel like a lot of brands just do sort of this formula of color plus finish or sparkle equals the polish, but KB Shimmer does this like sort of multi-dimensional layering of pigments and shimmers that makes each polish very different from anything else in my collection. The multi-dimensional shimmers, the colors, the glitters, all just combining to make very unique colors overall. And they're also incredibly affordable, which is crazy considering how much quality pigment goes into each one. They're very, very opaque, and they just have an incredible formula in general, which I feel like is just shocking for how inexpensive they are. But yeah, in this collection, every color was just so beautiful. They didn't feel distinctly wintry, like you could wear these shades anytime, but they definitely hit on all of the holiday colors, which I really appreciated. And they also included 3 flash reactive polishes, which were by far the best flash reactive polishes that I have tried. The formulas were just amazing. They're definitely a little bit on the thicker side, but that's expected with this formula. But they were very opaque, very shimmery, and they were also very self-leveling. And the colors themselves, again, they were just very unique, not like any of the other flash reactive polishes I had. They just have such an insane sparkle. It's a lot of fun to wear. Just an amazing collection, a beautiful curated set of colors, and just really amazing finishes overall. All right, so number 2 on my list, second place, goes to the LA Colors Diamond Crush collection. Yes, my number 2 collection of the year was a drugstore collection, and I was incredibly excited about this one. It came out for spring 2021, and let me tell you, these polishes are criminally underrated. We're talking about a full 8 polish collection of scattered holographic jellies from a drugstore brand that are so incredibly packed with glitter. And I feel like that's so unheard of for a drugstore brand. And honestly, I think the quality of these is actually on par with indie brands, because a lot of mainstream polishes tend to cut their holo with silver metallic glitter just to make it look more sparkly without having that extra holo in there. But these are just very holographic. And also the colors of the bases are just really beautiful too. They're just absolutely packed with sparkle. And the craziest thing about them is that they're only $3, and if you get them at HB Beauty Bar and use my discount code, they're even cheaper than that. So this is just making indie style and more boutique brand finishes more accessible and available to people who can't pay $10 to $15 price tag for holo. And for that, I'm just so in love with the collection. Of course, I do want to note, I do tend to be a little bit more forgiving of drugstore brands, especially because they are so much less expensive. And there are a few things about LA Colors that aren't as good as indie or salon quality brands. A lot of people say that they do not last as long as salon polishes. Their brush is not incredible, but overall, I feel like for the price you're paying, you're getting such good quality of color and of glitter. Before I share my number 1 favorite collection of the year, I do want to give an honorable mention to my collabs of the year. I didn't want to do it to you guys and make my collab my favorite collection of the year. Of course, I am a bit biased when it comes to the polishes that I have helped create, but I did do a 5 polish collab with Orly. First, we released 3 polishes. They were all galaxy inspired colors. We had a purple, a blue, and a black, and they were all beautiful and shimmery shades. And then we also did a release of 2 green polishes, because as I always say on my channel, there aren't enough green nail polishes in the world. And then we have my recent collaboration with Starrily, which just came out this month. We did 8 gorgeous galaxy inspired nail polishes. They actually came in a limited edition collector's box. The collector's box is unfortunately already sold out, but the polishes are still available individually. We did a couple of really beautiful creams. We had a couple of gorgeous shimmers. There were 2 really beautiful toppers, and then we had 2 jelly iridescent fleeky polishes. So of course, very much in love with the polishes that I got to create. I feel so honored that I even got to make them, and I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed them too, but I wanted to give an unbiased first place collection. So those are just my honorable mentions. But moving in to my top favorite collection of the year, this is actually a tie. So there were two collections that came out that really blew me away. I was absolutely stunned with, and they were actually both by the same brand, but I didn't want to potentially kick out another one of the collections that I really enjoyed this year. So I figured since they were the same brand, I would just combine them into one. And that brand is Orly and their Electric Escape collection, which was for summer 2021, and their Lisa Frank collaboration, which came out in September 2021, were just honestly incredible collections. So those take the number one spot for me. Let's go over why. So we'll start with the Electric Escape collection. It was a collection of 6 neon nail polishes for summer 2021. And let me tell you, we were actually inundated with neons this summer. But this collection was by far the best. It was just outstanding in terms of color story. It was really unique, and I think that alone put it above the other brands that released neons this year. So we had 2 purples, 2 oranges, and 2 greens, and the colors were just so beautifully curated, and I really appreciated that. But on top of having that really nice color story, we also had such a good formula. It was very smooth, it was very self-leveling, very opaque colors. The shade Synthetic Symphony was such a standout for me. I wore that color so much and I absolutely loved it. And of course, all of these neons were fully opaque on their own. You didn't need any white base coat to make them more opaque or more saturated. They were just beautiful and perfect without anything. And Orly is just a really great value for the price you pay. Their bottles are 18 milliliters, which is by far the biggest nail polish bottle I own. So you're really getting a great value for your money. And then in September, we were blessed with the collab of our 90s dreams. So we had the Lisa Frank collection, and I think the nostalgia factor of these polishes is really what won me over. The packaging was just wonderful. I saved my boxes for everything just because it transported me back to like the simpler time in my life. The branding was just absolutely on point. I loved it. The colors themselves matched the Lisa Frank vibe so perfectly. And again, they were just such good quality. That Orly quality of neon is just absolutely terrific. And even though they were also neon creams, they were somehow very different from the summer 2021 shades. And plus, we were given one of the most unique toppers I have ever seen, especially from a mainstream brand, with the shade Hit the Spot, which had multicolor matte glitters in various sizes as well as a holographic sparkle. And it was just the epitome of Lisa Frank. Also, the branding of the bottle itself was absolute perfection. So everything about this collection was just perfect to me. So yeah, those are my top 5, technically 6 actually, plus all of my honorable mentions, collections that came out for 2021. Like I said, I'm also going to be sharing my top 21 favorite polishes that came out this year, so stay tuned for that. I know not everybody shares the exact same favorites as me. We all enjoy like different finishes and different brands, but hopefully you enjoyed my picks. But I also want to hear yours. What was your favorite collection that came out in 2021? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. I'm curious to know if we have any overlapping favorites. If there's a collection that maybe I didn't even get to try that was one of your favorites for the year, let me know in the comments. Overall, I think it was just a really good year for polish. I hope that 2022 continues to expand, and I hope we get some really interesting, unique polishes for next year as well. If you enjoyed this favorites video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. Huge shout out to my Cosmic Admirals on Patreon, Amanda M, Braxton Scott, and Rocket Man's daughter. Thank you all for joining me for an incredible year, and Happy New Year to you all. I hope you have a wonderful 2022, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Anne, aka the Crazy Sheep. And Anne wants to know, how do you make your hot chocolate? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did not know that there was any other way to make hot chocolate besides buying a packet of hot cocoa mix and mixing it with hot water. Let me do a quick Google search really quick. There are a lot of other ways to make hot chocolate, most commonly by using unsweetened cocoa powder and sugar. And people make it on the stove. Okay, I've never done that before. If you have a really good hot chocolate recipe that you would like to share with me, please leave it in the comments, because now I want to know what I'm missing. I'm actually not a huge hot chocolate fan just because I feel like it doesn't taste that great. But maybe hot chocolate does taste good and I just have never had good hot chocolate before. Interesting fun fact question. Thank you for enlightening me, Anne. And I'll see you guys in my next video next year. Bye.